Oh, darling. Oh, darling. How are you, darling? Come on in. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Unless, of course, you're into that type of thing. Oh, darling. Be a dear, would you? And like the video on your way in. And subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Darling. I do want to thank you all for being here this evening or this afternoon. You could have been anywhere in the world. But you're here with me, darling. And I don't take that for granted. Darling. Y'all come on in. I've been waiting to have this discussion because this is so important. This situation is so slept on. This is just something we don't talk about. We act like it doesn't even happen, but it does. And it's a serious problem. And it affects women and it affects men. Okay? Because you have a lot of men that you're not even in a relationship with your woman. A lot of men, you're in a relationship with her mama. And all her mama's fears, traumas, and insecurities. So this live today is going to be a really healthy decision, a very healthy discussion, not only for women, but for men too. There's a lot of men, you battling a battle, king, and you don't even know what you up against, all right? You up against a whole different demon and you clueless to what's really going on. So this conversation today is going to be important. Trigger warning. Oh, let me pin my message. Hold on. Now, trigger warning. Okay, this conversation today, there will be a lot. I just see something crazy. I'm trying to pin this. I'm trying to pin this link. This is not working out for me. Trigger warning. All right. This conversation, why is the live chat on? Why won't it let me? Okay, this is just not. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to see why won't it let me? This conversation will trigger some. All right. This is a very sensitive subject. There are way too many people who will relate to this, unfortunately. So, trigger warning. Where is the comment? Here it is. Trigger warning. Did it pin? Okay, there we go. Next trigger warning. Honey, summer is here. Okay, honey, we out here trying to look good, trying to do what we got to do. Now, I want you guys to check out this makeup look. Did this makeup look on my Patreon today. Shout out to all the Patreoners in the chat. I see some of y'all in here now. So what were we talking about today? So if you join my Patreon, we're always giving you the lowdown on how to look good every day, how to keep yourself together, all type of different products. I do different, tips on products that I use, different routines. Like I be giving all the tea, okay, on my recommendations and what needs to be done in order to be your best self, look good as a woman, and maintain you, okay? And then when I'm doing all of this, we're also having talks. So we have the talks that we can't have on YouTube. Like we get very intimate on there, very specific, and we talk about a lot of stuff that we really can't talk about publicly. So ladies, if you're not in my Patreon, what are you doing? We have meetups once a month for our VIP tier. Like we have all the tea. Like if y'all wonder where is the tea, it's in my Patreon. I'm also working on a second Patreon that will be for everybody. Like the Patreon I have now is pretty much a beauty, girl talk, women's self-improvement kind of vibe. But I am working on another Patreon where it will be for everyone. Okay. So ladies, if you're not at Patreon, please do so. The link is in the description, patreon.com/SIXGODDIS. My handle is SIXGODDIS on everything, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. That is what it will be. You really don't have to ask. So yes, thank you, Ty. Ty's one of our Patreoners. So yeah, y'all join the Patreon. Invest in yourself. Get the tea. All right. We come to death row. All right. You're tired of all the problems with no solutions, tired of delusion, tired of baby, come to death row. Okay. We over here with realistic solutions and we doing the work on us, not complaining about other people. All right. That's not how we get down. So it's a whole tribe, it's a whole vibe. So join in. You know what else is a vibe? Okay. And it's perfectly okay for us to sit and discuss, you know, how we do our hair, how we do our makeup, how we do our nails. All of that is great, but all of those are things on the outside. And all of this is futile if your health is not right on the inside. All right. Now, I don't care what anyone tells you, there is no way around consuming fresh fruits and vegetables, period. There's no alternative. There's no nothing. Now, if you're like me, I don't particularly enjoy eating raw fruits and vegetables. I'm talking about raw fruits and vegetables. I'm not talking about vegetables with salad dressing and sauteed in garlic and butter. I'm talking about raw fruits and vegetables. Me personally, it's not giving for me. I'm not going to hold you. But I know it's not an option to just not do it. So then I realized, okay, I may not eat them, but I will drink them. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have taken on the task of juicing fruits and vegetables. But my God, oh, by the time you get the fruits and vegetables, the equipment, the mess it makes, the cleanup, I'm good, love, enjoy. All right. I got my time spent doing better things. So what I love about Alpha Juice Company is they have organic, fresh, pressed fruits and vegetables that they juice, bottle, and deliver to your front door. When your Alpha Juice come in a big box with like a silver, like football, a silver football, okay? And you open a silver football and all your juice is fresh, cold at your door. You ain't got to clean nothing, buy, you ain't got to do any of that, okay? We're even going to save you a few dollars. And if you use my code SIXGOD, you will get $5 off. All right. They even give you a straw. I know I say this all the time, but I'm like, you know what? I don't know. The straw just gives me, you care. Like you guys didn't even want us to have to go search about frivolously for a straw. You guys are like, never fret. See how Alpha Juice loves us? Look. Ooh. What's this flavor? Georgia peach. Oh, I like that. I don't think I've tried this flavor yet, Georgia peach, because y'all know I am slowly transitioning from a Florida orange to a Georgia peach, honey. I'm slowly earning my Georgia peach stripes as time progresses. All right. So I'm liking this Georgia peach flavor. Okay. It's giving me. All right. It's nice and sweet. So I don't know. How do y'all feel about these situations lately that have been going viral, but they're like made up skits? Like, how do y'all feel about this? Because I don't really know how I feel about it. You know, because it's like a part of me feels like it's kind of lame, like you're, you know, packaging this scenario as though it's real life and though it's really happening and it's not. So a part of me be kind of feeling like, lame, tomato. But then a part of me is like, well, a part of the reasons why a lot of these fake skits are going viral is because so many people have had these experiences in real life. So I'm like, let's look at the positive here. It might be good that these are fake viral skits. That way I don't feel like we're like kind of examining and exploiting someone's real life. Like now we know, okay, these people that do skits, they did this on purpose to have it, you know, go viral. So, okay, so, you know, let's go ahead and talk about it. All right. So Yeah, Ty says skits are getting out of control. They are kind of getting out of control. And you really don't know what is real or fake anymore. You really don't. Like now when you see something, you got to kind of give a moment to just be like, okay, let me let this play out a little bit and see if this is really real. Yeah, but like I said, to me, I'm always going to look at the situation, look at how, it can benefit us. And the way it can benefit us is, like I said, a lot of these skits, they go viral for a reason because there are people who are like, that happened to me, or I could see that going down. So we're going to look at this skit today to kick off the conversation. And this was done on TikTok. And it was like this whole situation of a girl walking into the room and finding her mother in bed with her baby daddy. Again, it's a skit, but this happens a lot. And we don't talk about it. Okay. Because what we do is we plaster the mistakes and shortcomings and faults of men all over the wall. I'm talking about when it comes to how a man messes up or his mistakes. Oh my God, we blow it up and we put it all over the wall for everyone to see. But then here comes the girl code, the fake girl code. And we just do not talk about the flaws or toxic ways of the women, of the mom. Okay. We'll bash the man all day. Deadbeat dad, you ain't this, you ain't help with that. But then when it comes to mom, because she was there physically, we feel as though we got to just whisper the flaws of mom. And that really is a scarcity mindset. And that really is the bar in hell. All right. That just because you gave birth to me, because you had me, and because your eggs, like grew in your womb, that somehow that means that I cannot ever speak out about how you may be hurting me or your toxic behaviors. And that's what a lot of, when we're speaking about Black mothers, which is what I'll speak about mostly because I don't really care about what other people are doing, even though, let me also make this clear, mother-daughter jealousy is not something that only affects Black women. It's just not, okay? You'll see, matter of fact, you might see white girls more so complaining about mother-daughter jealousy than you will us. All right. However, I'm going to speak at it from our perspective because who cares about what they're doing? Ain't got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you always talking about Black women? Because I'm a Black woman. And that's my community. And that's what I give a fuck about. So that might be a reason. So, hey, y'all. All right. So let's go ahead and people say they thought it was real. I don't know. I mean, I heard it was a skit. Who knows at this point? But I know one thing. We sure going to watch it. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And we're really going to break this down because there's a lot. There's a lot. This happens a lot. We don't talk about it. We talk about this stuff today. We talk about this stuff today. And I wrote about this in my book. And I also want to say this for a moment because this is something that is just, grinding my gears. And I hate it so bad. And, I just don't know why this is a thing. Can we please stop downplaying work that female content creators have been working on for years? Can we stop taking content that women have been putting the work in and giving all the credit to the work that women are doing to Kevin Samuels? I got to say it. I can't take it anymore. Can we please? You have some of us female Black content creators. We've been in the game for 5-10 years, working our asses off. And this is very typical of how a workplace goes with women. See, ladies, even female content creators are not exempt. So many women complaining in corporate America about, oh my God, I work hard as a man and they don't give us credit, baby. Join the winning team. It happens to us all. Can y'all please, for the love of for everything that I love in my life, please stop taking ladies who have been in this game for a long time. Stop talking about women, talking about each other for literally 5-10 years, including myself. have been getting death threats, hated on, excluded in every way for speaking the truth about women for years. Getting called a pick-me, getting called a mammy, getting videos done about you, hated on. Can we stop taking this hard work that women have done and been doing and saying, Kevin Samuels got y'all doing this? Stop it. It's sick. And the irony in it is there are several talking points, several thought processes that Kevin Samuels got from a lot of these women. And the women did not cause a fuss and say, oh, he stole that from me. No one did that. We all just kept our head down and kept doing what we're doing. But I am so tired of taking work that we have put in and contributing it to someone who's been in the game in a major way for less than 2 years. You know, and it's a very good example of how women get shitted on in the workplace, which is why we don't need to be working. Okay, I done retired from barbering. I'm about to just retire from everything. I just feel like I just shouldn't work because it's just, as a woman, it just seems like working doesn't work out for us. It just seems like a lot of energy that you put in and you're not getting the return. Okay, I'm about to just say fuck all this. I'm about to just have my full-time job be to look good and cook and do my hair and clean up and fold my sheets in nice shapes. I'm this close to that I'm about to go live on a farm and duck off and just be like, bye, because I'm irritated and I cannot take it. People always sending me clips of somebody making a video, a comment, got my picture in the thumbnail, the Nika picture in the thumbnail. These are the women that Kevin Samuels put on. Stop it. And Danica been on YouTube longer than me. Danica OG in the YouTube game. See, the problem is a lot of the content that I was doing it mostly on Instagram, Facebook, back when we had Vine, back when I used to be on Twitter heavy. So a lot of my catalog is not on YouTube. You know, so y'all will hear something we'll say and then make entire videos, entire comments about how Kevin Samuels got y'all talking like this. Just stop. Okay, so I had to say that, child. I just cannot take it no more. I think it's weird. I think it's disrespectful to women putting in the work. Okay, nothing that a lot of these. One guy literally had my picture in a thumbnail. I had my picture and was like, women that, and I'm like, why? Typical story of being a woman working in any space that's male dominated. And as content creators, it is also male dominated, like every other industry pretty much. Then you have some industries that are made for women where men will still come in and try to steal the shine, like being a woman. Now we have trans women winning Women of the Year. Like, wow, like as a woman, even like having a vagina and a uterus, a man still will come in and be like, but me first. Like, wow. Okay, rant over. I feel so much better. Also, please do not send me any clips. Don't send me no clips, comments, videos, shorts. Don't send me shit else with no other man contributing to any work that female content creators are doing, like myself, contributing it to him. Okay. And we all know there are a few female content creators where, yes, they're not. It's not the old Kevin Samuels got them talking that way. You have some of them where they have just completely copied his format. Now, you might have some people that did that, but you got men that did the same thing with him. Okay. God bless the dead. Okay. But please stop doing it to the women where you ain't even got no receipt, baby. You check the catalog 5-10 years ago. Stop. All right. All right. So that's over now. I feel so much better. All right. Let's go ahead and continue with the video. He said it's hard to watch the old video due to ignorant. Man, listen. Bye. Pretty say your podcast was my favorite thing to listen to. Come on now. Yeah, my Oh, don't get me started on the podcast, which is coming back. It's being rebranded and it's coming back. Got a few things we got to work out. I'm at the point now, baby, it got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to work out some things, y'all. I got to make sense. Yeah, my podcast back from 2017. Like, stop playing with me, period. Just stop. Just stop. Thanks, guys. Anyway, someone said homestead living. Y'all, I am this close to just going off the grid. I'm this close. Okay. Y'all have no idea how close I am. Give me some land, give me a little farm somewhere in Alabama, somewhere in Mississippi. Oh. Okay. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. Let me restart my camera. Hold on. All right. Sorry. I'm trying to make sure I show everybody love. Oh, thank you, Andre. Y'all check out the good brother Andre. If y'all don't know Andre Hatchet, he be putting us on to all the good information. All right. So, someone said I started watching you through Tariq Nasheed. That's dope. Yeah, Tariq is a dope brother. I need to hit him up. I got some things we need to talk about. I need to work on some things. So I'm going to show you guys the video. Hold on, let me put on my eyes. I can't see nothing. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at this video and get into the conversation.
Call you all day, and this is what you do with my mom? Is you serious? I know you lying, and you just sitting there quiet. You ain't got to say, Mom? Really? You ain't got to say. Really? So you just no, I don't want to hear that. Facebook? Yeah, I'm gonna put it on Facebook. I want everybody to see the two is right here. What they doing in my bed? My bed. I'm still your mother. I don't care who you are. Obviously, you don't care that I'm your daughter, right? No, you over here sleeping with my baby daddy. This is my baby daddy. You don't clean. Because I be at work. I be at work. You don't. I be at work. Like, you don't treat him right. What you expect him to do? You got a whole man. You talk about I don't treat you right. Oh, girl, come on now. And look at you. You just laying there in bed. Ain't got to say, right? Get your about my bed. Get the hell out of my house. You two, Mom, get your and get the out. I don't ever. You gonna get your. You gonna get your up on my bed. Get the up. Get up. You get out. Call an Uber. Call a taxi. Call the train. Get on the fucking bus. I don't give a what you do. Get your up out my bed. Get out my bed. No. Get up out my bed. Out my house. Take your. No. You talking about me treating my man right? You don't even look at what you do with my man. Really? Really? Get out. Bye. Take. You know what? Better yet, take them drawers off, because them drawers is mine. Take them socks off, because I bought that too. I don't give a what? No, the camera's all in your face. Take my shit off, because I paid for it. Give me this shirt. I bought that. No, give me my shit. You too.
She caught her mom sleeping with her baby.
Whoever recorded this, they got all they text messages and business on it. But anywho, now this, I ain't gonna lie, is this really a skit? Because I felt that was a little bit intense to be a skit. I felt the conviction in Sis' voice. So we don't know if this is a skit no more. I don't know. I heard it was, maybe it wasn't. We don't know. Woo! Put a hand up in the chat if you've ever came home and walked in on your man with another woman in the bed. Put a hand up in the chat. Like, put a hand up if this has ever happened to you before. Not saying it gotta be your mama, but has this ever happened to you, like in real life? Like, have you ever, you walk into your house and your man, he in the bed, like in the bed with a woman. someone said the mom popular or on Facebook. Why would they face be blurred if it was a skit? I know, like, I don't know. They said it was a skit, but ladies, put a 1 in the chat if you have ever come home and caught a woman in the bed with your man, because holy shit. Holy shit. So, yeah, she a good actress. She a good actress. Jesus. I say, nah, because I'm not in jail. Honey. Whoo, I think I'm going to tell a story on my Patreon of when that happened to me. Whoo, honey. But not them getting caught in the bed. Not him beating her mad. Did y'all pay attention to the fact that someone say it's real? What? Let's just talk about the fact that they caught in the oh, please. Who is it? Who is it? Is that Sam? Yeah. For the trash? Oh, yeah. It's kind of heavy now. Okay, hold on. Just give me 1 second. Hey, sweetie. So it is kind of heavy, so I don't want it to break. I'm wondering, you think you're going to be able to get it? It's heavy. It's like I have a whole watermelon in there. You got it? This all I got on me. Thank you so much. How often do y'all come back?
I do it myself.
Okay.
Yes, mom.
Okay. Thank you, sweetie. Have a good one. Sorry, y'all. It's this really nice young brother. He offered to take out your trash, for a few dollars. And he had came before. Matter of fact, I think the last time he came out was doing a live stream, and I was like, "Come back, I got you next time." And so I had to make sure I kept my word on that. Whew, so sorry. But yeah. Not them getting caught in the bed red-handed and then trying to beat her mad. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to help us go into our conversation. So if you see how she caught her mom in the bed with her baby daddy red-handed, and both the mother and the baby daddy got mad. Because I'm going to tell you right now, most people, you walk in the house and see your significant other in the bed with someone else, most people are going to jail. Just keeping it real. Most people, that puts you in such a state of shock. Like you just go into this state of shock. Most people cannot control their actions after that. It's a next level of shock, betrayal, and a lot of people, this is how people end up dead, this, that, and the third. So I'm just proud of sis, whether it's a skit or not, that she did not end up stabbing someone, okay? Because, honey, I wish you're in the bed with my mom and y'all beating me mad, okay? But this is what we talk about. There's been so much talk about narcissism, okay? I feel like this is a new psychology word that a lot of people have heard buzzing in the internet. I was looking the other day on some statistics. It's like 2 million people searching about narcissism each day. It's crazy. Okay. And now it's become so common and so overused that we don't know what it really looks like in day to day. Okay. And so when we're going to have this conversation about mother-daughter jealousy, a big part of this is going to start from the conversation about narcissism. Okay. A huge sign of narcissism. Okay. This is the most huge sign of it all. Is a situation like this where she has caught them in the bed. They are clearly in the wrong. And instead of them saying, we apologize, or, oh my God, how could we do this? The response is, well, you did this. Well, you did that, beating her mad, getting irritated. Narcissistic people will get mad because you catch them lying or betraying you. Okay. I've seen people who are so narcissistic where you literally catch them in the bed and they're like, why are you mad? We didn't even do anything. That's narcissism, where it's like, we see you face to face. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the person. And your only response is, nothing happened. Why are you so upset? What's your problem? Narcissists will do that in order to get a reaction out of you. Narcissistic people, it's this really sick thing where they hate themselves so bad that they don't love themselves and get disgusted by the idea of someone else genuinely loving them. And this normally stems from abandonment issues. Okay. There's a common misconception that because someone is arrogant or confident in themselves, that equals narcissism. Someone can be arrogant, confident, and still not hurt people, still not try to punish people for loving them, still not self-sabotage and find pleasure in controlling other people's emotions. That those do not coincide. When you speak of narcissistic people having a grandiose delusional mentality, that is more so in the way to convince others to allow them to abuse them. You see what I'm saying? They'll give you these grand plans for the future, these grand plans for what they're going to do, and really don't have any means or resources or ability to make it happen. That's what we mean when we say this grandiose, because it's several factors in it. Okay. Narcissistic people will push people away. And the more that person stays and says, no, I'm not going to leave. I love you. I want to treat you right. I want to be with you. The more that person come back and stays, the more that the narcissist low key has disdain for the person. They're like, why are you here? I'm a terrible person. I ain't shit. I'm not worthy of love. Why do you keep trying to love me? And they will go a step higher each time to push that person away until they're gone. A narcissist is someone where it's like they need your validation. They need you here, but don't think they deserve it. So they go out their way every day to push you away. And then when you say fine, then they're like, wait, but where are you going? It's a very sick disorder. All right. Judging from, yes, I agree, Elle. I agree it's the worst personality disorder because it's a walking contradiction. It's someone who makes it seem like they want you and need you while still doing everything they can to disrespect you, dehumanize you, and devalue you. And it's the most frustrating. This is why people who are able to get out of narcissistic relationships need therapy afterwards. You need therapy. You're like, what just happened? You feel confused. You feel confused. You feel like, okay, what just hit me? This person say they want me around, yet they cheat on me 1,000 times. They do everything to push me away. This doesn't make any sense. This is why people need therapy. Okay. So it's like narcissism is hard because this person does so much to like love bomb you and make it seem like they want you around. So then you're like, okay. So you go with them and then they're like, bitch, why the fuck would you come over here? I'm a terrible person. I'm cheating on you. I'm lying to you. I ain't shit. Why are you here? So then you're like, well, fine, then I'll leave. Then they're like, see, you ain't really love me because you leaving. You cheat on me 10 times. See, you just want to be for the streets. I knew it. If you just want to be single and find a reason to leave me, fine. You've been beating on me for the past year. What is that supposed to mean? You give up on me that easy? That's how narcissism looks. It's psychotic, and it fucks with your mind. It's very weird. It's a walking contradiction. Matter of fact, I think that we're going to have a whole different conversation about it. Okay. Yes, I have dealt with one before, and it's literally when you realize, because first of all, we ain't nobody doctor to diagnose somebody with nothing. But when you really kind of look at what's going on, you realize it happened, you're like, oh my God. And also to me, what makes, God damn it. To me, Holly just got triggered. Holly's talking about, you want to be for the streets, fine. That's what they'll say. I said, you cheated on me 10 times. If you want to leave me for someone else, that's the other thing. Narcissists project what they're doing onto you. Oh my God. I think we will. I think we'll have a separate stream about narcissism. Okay. But getting into the topic today, narcissism is, let's say you have 20 mother-daughter jealousy scenarios. Let's say that out of those 20, probably 15 of them will stem from the mother being a narcissist. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Okay. I have spoken to so many girls, and although I'm not a doctor, when they explain the issues that they're having with their mom, I always see certain common denominators. And I'm like, oh my God, a lot of these women, the reason why they're having the problems with their mom is because she has a personality disorder. And I don't want to talk about this in a negative way, because so many people do not get help for their mental illnesses because of the stigma behind it. Okay. So I don't want to say this like, oh, Sunrise, I don't want to do that. Okay. Because this is why a lot of people can't get help. I was talking about this a little bit in my Patreon, either today or yesterday. And I said, the truth is, in my belief, all Black people suffer from some sort of mental illness, whether it be PTSD, body dysmorphia. I feel like all Black people suffer from PTSD. We can just stop there. From our history and seeing things that happen to people that look like you, having to go out your door every day, wondering if white supremacy is going to have you dead or in jail. I believe all Black people suffer from PTSD, which is a form of mental, warfare and illness. So in my opinion, everyone suffers from mental illness of some sort. It's just a matter of how bad is it. A way to tell if your mental illness is just like normal mental illness and mental issues that you just have as being Black in America, the way you tell is if it starts to affect the quality of your life. Okay. It's one thing if, 2 to 5 years go by in your life and something go down and you're like, okay, I need to change this. But when you have decades of the same outcomes, and when you have decades of, remember I told y'all, women lie, men lie, consistent patterns do not. When you have decades of the same patterns and cycles going around, that's a good indicator that your mental illness is at a place where it's no longer just, oh, we all have our flaws. No, you have a serious problem. It's stopping you from advancing in life and doing what you need to do. That is the difference. Thank you so much for the super chat. Daryl says, narcissistic people are the absolute worst people. These people are borderline mentally challenged. Thanks for covering the topic. Man, like if you have ever dealt with one, it is the most frustrating conversation. You just get nowhere. You'll spend the whole time arguing about whether or not what you have a problem with should really be a problem as opposed to the solution. Narcissistic people, when you explain normal things in relationships that everyone knows and does, they look at it as you're telling me what to do, and they fight against it. Okay. And the feeling you get, like when you finally realize this person's a narcissist, there's nothing that I can do here. This is just going to get worse and worse. The other problem is there's no cure for it. The only way for a narcissist to remotely live a healthy life where they are not making everyone around them miserable and want to grab your shit and run as fast as you can, is if they remain in full-time therapy for the rest of their lives. I'm talking about twice a week, every week, literally, to help them organize their thoughts and somewhat temporarily retrain their brain to live normally. Because the feeling you get when you finally realize this person narcissist wasting my time and you let it go, oh my God, the feeling of relief. And then you start to be like, oh, how did I even deal with that for when I did? This person's fucking terrible. You know, so shout out to everyone that has been through it and gotten through it. It's a big deal. Okay. So let me, I saw another comment I meant to show. One second. Here it goes. Thank you for the super chat, Queen Khadij. Is it Khadij? My mom used to snatch me from my dad's arms and spank me when he would pick me up and love on me. She's been jealous of me since infancy. Whoo, Chile. Oh my God. Now, you know, I am very glad that I have never dealt with mother-daughter jealousy. My mother was always very supportive of me. You know, never made me feel less than or anything like that. So I'm speaking more so from the perspective of things I've seen, as well as from the experiences of my clients. So some people... Oh. Oh. Sorry, y'all. What the hell? Hold on one second. Okay. That was weird. Okay. Now, I don't know if I have told y'all this before, but I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all this now. Now, this is a very unpopular opinion. Very unpopular opinion. Thank you for the super chat, Percy. Tell my hail to the queen. Boy, stop. I like this. I like this. Baylin says some mothers won't abuse you when they're jealous. They'll just neglect you so you don't reach your full potential. Whoo. Okay, honey period. Now, this is a very unpopular opinion, all right? A lot of people don't agree with this. Well, I don't give a damn. You can say what you want to say. I am the kind of person where I don't care if you are my family, friend, boyfriend, baby daddy, cousin, auntie. I do not care. In my opinion, anybody, anyone who consistently degrades you, betrays you, puts you down, makes you feel bad about yourself, hurts you, puts you in harm's way in any way, shape, or form. If someone does this to you in a consistent pattern, I am 100% for cutting them clean off. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, okay? Now, on my dad's side of the family, we all cool. We good. On my mom's side of the family, I cut all of them off. You hear me? I did not lose a wink of sleep over it. So many people are out here so bitter and so messed up in the head because you constantly letting somebody abuse you. We think abuse is like someone literally plopping you over the head. There's more to it than that. My brain cannot comprehend like just sitting there and your hand is like on a stove, just burning over and over. And instead of moving your hand off the stove, you're like, my hand is on fire. My hand is on fire. Like, move your hand, you know? So my brain cannot comprehend as adults, you just sitting there and allowing someone to hurt you over and over. And you just sit there. You need to get up out of there. A lot of people become bitter because they don't know when it's time to get out. Oh my God. So when it comes to dealing with jealous mothers, narcissistic mothers, step one, cut her ass clean off. Okay? There is no way to live in peace with your narcissistic mom. So are you going to sit there and let her continue to hurt you or cut her off? Okay? I've had sessions with some girls and they're telling me the story about their moms. And I'm like, well, what you're going to have to do is move away from that bitch and start a new life and block her. That's why I say some of y'all do your sessions with me and you think you're going to come into your session with me and I'm just going to tell you what you want to hear. I might tell you some things so deep. You're going to be like, what? I should do what? Yeah, are you ready for that? Don't come complain to me about your mama, because if I feel in my spirit that this is just the way that bitch is and it's not going to change, I will tell you, cut her ass off. It's going to ruin your self-worth. You'll never progress and get where you need to be. A lot of your mothers have a spell on you. Woo, Holly, you is a cold mother. Holly said, I tell people she's dead. God damn. There is a lady on TikTok that I like. Her name is Shoe Lover 99. And she's like a really country white lady. She had these funny videos where she's like telling stories about, not telling a story, but doing reactions to like trying different like spicy or like she'll do like what she does, like some liquor cherry or something like that. Anyway, so she really funny. So she has talked a little bit about her narcissistic mom. And again, she white. Okay. Like I said, this problem don't just affect us as Black women. In my opinion, white women are the most narcissistic out of anybody. White women have the highest reason to be narcissistic. You know, so a lot of Black women, if you thought your mama was bad, whoo, boy, some of y'all, whoo, well, some of these white women, mother. So she was talking about how, like, basically her mom was disgusting to her. She got pregnant real young. Her mom was disgusting. Fast forward, she cut her mom off, went on about her life. Fast forward like 20 years later, her oldest son passes away. Okay. This blew my mind. Her oldest son passed away. Out of the good grace of her heart, she allows her mother to come to the funeral. Haven't seen her mom in 20 years. It was like 20, 25 years, haven't seen her mom. She lets her mom come to the funeral. Do you know that this bitch, they have the funeral, they're at the repast in her home. She's not in her mom's home, in her home. Do you know that her mom looks at her and says, you look skinny like a skeleton. You need to eat. I said, bitch, I would have. Bitch, I would have. I said, who, girl? You? Who, honey, you got the patience of Job. Because I wish I would be at the repast where my child just passed away. I ain't spoke to you in 20 years. I let you come to this out of the kindness of my heart. And the first thing you're going to tell me is that I look a skeleton. This is an example of a narcissistic mother. All right. A lot of women are trying to figure their mother out. And the truth is, you need to stop figuring your mom out and throw her ass away. All right. So that's step one, is mental illness. The number one cause of mother-daughter jealousy is narcissism. Okay. So you need to pay attention to the traits in your mother and her behaviors so you can try to figure out if this is something that she suffers from. Because I am telling you, as a mother, nothing should make you happier in your life than seeing your children win, succeed, be their best selves. If as a parent, seeing your children doing that makes you feel anything less than ecstatic and proud of them, you have a problem. Narcissistic people are very competitive in general, because they're very insecure. They have very low self-worth. So they're always kind of measuring themselves up to people around them. Narcissistic people have a tendency to be more reserved because they always try to keep themselves held back until they figure out what other people have going on, because a lot of narcissists don't have a sense of self-identity. So they tend to just kind of like sit back because they don't have a themselves to be up front. You see what I'm saying? So if your mother is narcissistic and she's competitive, don't let the daughter be beautiful, smart, know who she is, be strong in her beliefs. If you are everything that your narcissistic mother is not, God help you. Let us bow our heads and pray for the girl who came out 10 times better than her mom in every way. A non-narcissistic mother should see her daughter be better than her and feel happy. A narcissistic mother will see her daughter be better than her and be jealous. Now, there also is a difference between jealousy and envy. Jealousy means I don't think you deserve to have what you have, or I want to take what you have, or I don't want you to have what you have. Envy is more so of, whoo, she got some nice skin. I got to work on my skin. Man, her skin looking good. You see what I'm saying? Jealousy would be, I hope I should cut her face and mess up that skin and mess up that face. Do y'all see the difference? A lot of your mothers are not envious. They are jealous. They don't want to really see you having what you have. All right. Your mother is narcissistic. Another way to tell if she's narcissistic is you go to her and you say, Mom, you did this to me. And this really hurt me. And this really affected me. And she denies that it happened. Mom, you used to spank me really bad. I have bruises and scars to this day from some of your outlandish beatings. And it really affected me. Like I really have an issue with accepting abuse now. I never beat you. I have a scar right here and another one right here. Like you beat me with an extension cord. Remember, and it broke the skin. I needed stitches, but we never got it. Like, you abused me. And she'll deny that she ever touched you. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen this happen. Now, either she'll deny she did it or she'll cry. Oh, how could you say that? I was just trying to be like, they'll do anything but apologize. I was just trying to be the best mom I could be. I'm sorry if it wasn't good enough for you. When you hear your mom say, I'm so, when you, not even your mom, any narcissist, when they say, I guess just nothing was good enough for you. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Stop with the dramatic. I don't want to hear that dramatic shit. I guess just nothing was good enough for you. Please. She'll hit that move. She'll hit the dramatic move. I guess nothing is good enough. Or she'll deny it. Or she'll try to cry and get emotional. Oh, how could you say it about me? I just wanted the best for you. I just tried my best. And you're like, okay, that's a sign of narcissistic mother. When your mother always criticizes you, all right? Now, it's one thing to say, because I believe as women, yes, I do believe that we are in charge of making sure that our daughters, or pretty much any Black women, that we all staying on point. You know, so I know that when I have a daughter, I definitely plan on always pushing her to be her best self. You know, I will say I definitely plan on being like, okay, you know, you might be gaining a few pounds. Who might want to, and it's more so in her interest. And the mother will always say it in a loving and private way. You see what I'm saying? And she'll pull you to the side privately. Hey, sweetie, you know, I love you, but you getting a little hefty there. Okay, you might want to go ahead and, you know, hit the gym a little harder, cut out a few calories. A narcissistic mother will wait until you're in front of your boyfriend or in a public setting and say in front of everybody, like, whew, well, y'all might need 2 seats for her. Well, y'all make some space. It's a wide load. You see, she'll embarrass you in front of people. Okay. Your narcissistic mother will ruin your birthday. When your birthday comes, she won't be able to stand that the day is about you, and she'll try to make it about her. She'll try to get you in a bad mood. Remember, narcissistic people get a kick out of affecting people's moods. Okay? So when they're able to get you angry, when they're able to get you acting crazy, to get that out of you, it fuels them. How we were talking yesterday, we were like, it's like when they put the strap around their arm and they rip the needle, and it's like, oh. Like when you sit there and let a narcissist make you go off, let them get you emotional, let them hurt you. They enjoy that. They enjoy that power and control of being the reason of why you lost your shit. Okay? So when you see your mother say and do things to you, all right, where you feel like, man, like, what is your goal here? Like, you trying to embarrass me? Like, that's a sign right there. Okay? Now, y'all remember that video I showed y'all? What was that video about? About the girl where she said that her husband told her that if she did not lose weight, that he was going to leave her. And she was like, I didn't want to lose my family, so I got my butt up and did something about it. And I showed y'all how in the comments, how the women all were like, oh, well, now that she looked good, now that she lost the weight, she should leave her husband. And when we went and looked at the comments, one of the first comments was from Nikki Murphy. Okay. And I said, I wish Nikki Murphy, old hoe ass, would sit the fuck down and stop telling girls, oh, well, now that you look good, leave your man. I said, see, this is the toxicity that I be talking about. When you have women who are older, but they still in the game. Okay. I saw a woman the other day talking on TikTok, and she was like, marriage is a scam. Most married women are miserable. Being married really is just being a man's slave. Most married women are not. And I said, why do these old ass women be out here giving these girls this horrible advice to not get married, giving them advice to, if they are married, always telling them to leave their man? Like, why is this a thing? Okay. Now, again, you have two types of women. You have women where they may or may not have messed up in their lives in a certain place, and they realized where they went wrong. And now they're like, okay, I went wrong here. So let me make sure that my women, my daughters that come after me, that they don't make this same mistake. You have some women that move that way. Then you have some women who move in the way of, okay, this is where I went wrong. This is where I made a mistake. But I'm going to encourage other girls to also make that mistake. And unfortunately, we got a good 70% of Black women who are the latter, where you messed up in your life. And instead of you taking the L like a woman and managing whatever you have left of yourself, your goal is to recruit other women to come make the same mistakes that you make. Okay? So, a lot of y'all mothers, there was an instance that happened back where I'm from, okay? This happened in Sanford, Florida. I did not play the video on here, number one, because it's disturbing. Number one, it's disturbing. And number two, the young girl who committed this instance, I have a mass amount of respect for her family, in particular her grandmother, okay, her father. I have a tremendous respect for this family. So I did not do a video on it. However, in the video, basically the girl had a baby with a young guy. And I guess that the guy moved on to another girl and was posting the girl on Instagram. And he was not responding to her calls or text messages or something like that. And so she started hitting her baby. And she was like, yo, daddy, want to post bitches on Instagram but not answer the phone? I hate you. She said it with such conviction in her voice. She was like, I hate you. I hate your ass. And I brought that up to say this. Some of your mothers are jealous of you because they feel like you ruined their lives because they did not get the outcome that they desired with your dad. Some of your mothers hate you because having you did not keep your dad around. And I hate to say this, but it's true. Having you, your dad still left. And we're going to discuss that, but let me just start by saying this. And please understand what I'm saying when I say this. Okay? A woman should have a child because she wants to be a mother. If you have to get with a certain man and want to have a child because of him, you messed up. This will go left almost every time. A woman should want to be a mother first, period. The woman wants to be a mother first, and then she does the necessary work to find the man who can give her the family unit. But if you have a baby because you want to trap the man or keep the man, a lot of women will sit and be like Vanessa Bryant. And every time that man gets sick of your shit and get ready to leave, you get pregnant again. If you have a baby because of a man, instead of because you wanting to be a mother first, 9 times out of 10, if something go left with that man, it will also go left with how you feel about that child. I'm not debating this with nobody. Don't at me, at your mama. I don't want to hear it. This is the facts. When you have a child because you want to be a mother first, then that means that regardless of the feelings or interactions between the father, you will still value, nurture, and love your baby. Period. If this don't make sense to you, I don't know what to say. Let what I'm saying digest for a minute. This is not to say that we don't bring into consideration that the man wants a child too. Don't come in here with dramatics. It's simply saying the role of the woman. That baby is going to grow inside of your womb. That baby is going to be birthed through your V canal. Trying not to say certain words, even though they probably already demonetized my video because they always demonetize my video, but still, I'm gonna give it my best shot. Okay. Now, that's a sign of mother-daughter jealousy. Now, what does this cause? If your mother had you for your father, not because she wanted to be a mother, what this is going to cause is for her to blame you for everything. You will become the personification of everything that she deems going wrong in her life. She will tie it to you. It does not, every time she looks at you, she will see regret. Again, y'all always so stuck on, oh, but that's your mom, but that's, cut them off. We would have a lot less hurt and bitter people if they would learn to cut off people that hurt them, as opposed to giving people space over and over to hurt you, and you know it's never getting better. Okay? So these are the mothers who can cause daughters to always, if you're a woman dealing with mother-daughter jealousy and you always find yourself kind of second-guessing yourself, if you find yourself always kind of feeling uneasy or guilty about doing something well or succeeding in something, it can go back to you feeling like, if I do well, I'll feel that low-key jealous energy from my mama. You see what I'm saying? If your mother looks at you and all she sees is regret, that's going to affect your psyche. Hey, thank you for the Cash App, Trice. She says for the emojis like this. Thank you. Let me send you some love back. Thank you, sister. If you enjoy the content, I truly appreciate any donations that are made. If you enjoy what's going on or you're learning something, I welcome it. Yeah, so first of all, she had the baby for your dad. Your dad left. She blames you for being the reason why he leaves, and now she resents everything you do and everything that went wrong in her life. She pretty much blames you, and this also can fall under the category of your mother being narcissistic, but not always. Okay. The next reason is because your mom did everything wrong in her life. I got to take a sip on this one. Woo. All right. Your mom did everything wrong in her life, and you did everything right. And by you doing everything right, it only brings out of how wrong, it only brings out the truth of how wrong your mama was. I'm going to say that one more time. Because we know that Black women don't never talk about what they do wrong. It's like Black women go into hives. If Black women have to say they did something wrong, oh my God, they go into hives. If you come out just like her, then in her sick mind, everything's fine. Okay, because remember, a lot of Black mothers feel like just because you're alive and just because you're breathing and she put clothes on your back, that you're just fine. That you're just fine and you're doing just well, and she did her job. So if you grow up and make the same mistake she did, have babies by the wrong man, okay, go through bad relationship after bad relationship, never do anything with your life, never really go anywhere in your life, okay? If you grow up and do the same thing she did, then in her sick mind, no one knows I messed up. But if you grow up and do better, now she will look at you as the one that exposed her shortcomings. Like, oh, I didn't go to college, but my daughter did. A normal mother will be happy about that. A normal mother will say, oh, I am so glad that even though I did not do this right, my daughter did. Your mom got 3 kids by 3 different men, all of whom ain't shit. So God help you if you grow up and don't have kids till you get married. Now you've amplified, in her mind, you've amplified the fact that she was wrong. Oh, and don't let it be when you do have a baby, you get married with a good husband who is there for you and all your children and loves you. Oh, 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 baby, stick a nail in the coffin. Okay. Sometimes you are the reminder of everything your mother did wrong. I was talking to a sister not too long ago. She had jealousy from her mother and her father. Okay, this sister, matter of fact, I want to check on this sister. She one of the sisters where I told her, cut the whole family off. Cut them. Cut it. Cut it. And her dad would say things to her like, I can't get any worse. I got a bitch like you for a daughter. I'm talking about stuff like that. Okay, she was getting it from her mom and her dad. I pray for that sister daily. And every time she would try to do something for herself, try to, she would say, I want to lose weight. Her mom would come with a way to discourage her with that. Why? Because her mom let herself go. Okay. Got with a terrible man that treated her terrible, treated the children terrible. Okay. And her daughter trying to better herself, in her mind, she makes it about her and it make her look bad. So she will discourage everything you do. Okay. A lot of women do not want to have to acknowledge that their daughter did better than them. Okay. Now, The next Ty said I could see that with my mom and grandmother. You know what, Ty? I could see that too. I could see that too, Ty. Now that you're saying that, I could definitely see that. Let me switch out. I'm gonna keep talking, but yeah, I'm gonna switch out my battery as I continue. Now, this part right here is the part that is the worst of this to me. Like outside of your mother being narcissistic, this is something else that I find very disturbing. I find it particularly disturbing when a big part of why a mother will be jealous of her daughter is over a man. Now, this got like, the narcissism. Okay, it's a mental illness. We can research it. We can understand what it is. It can be diagnosed. Like, okay. But when you have a woman who is jealous of her daughter over a man, this is next level. Okay. This is when things go to a whole level. Now, the way that things are supposed to go. Sorry, y'all. Let me get this camera back up here. Make sure. Plug this back in. Okay, I hope that worked. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, we got it. Now, as a woman, your life is supposed to go in a cycle that goes something like this. Okay. You're young and beautiful. Okay. Your mother loves you, nurtures you. You get through grade school. After grade school, you either go to college or you start a business or you start a family. You have your children, you raise them. Once you've raised your children, nurtured your husband, nurtured your family into productivity and health, loved your family down, did your job, now you have gained a spot in your husband's eyes that no other woman can touch. Your children will always revere you and respect you. And now it's your job to be the guide for your daughters to navigate their own cycle. Okay? And you're supposed to sit back with your stripes like, okay, I raised my children, nurtured my man, everybody loved me, I did my job, and now you get the honor of being the matriarch in the family. In most families, grandma is the GOAT. If you as a woman did life right, you as grandma should be the GOAT of the family, period. We rarely hear about grandpa being the what is it called, the glue, and the one everybody in the family don't play about. Normally it's not grandpa, it's normally grandma. So this is why a woman will always have the need for adoration, always, period. However, the way in which she receives adoration should progress as she gets older. When she's young and hot, she will seek physical adoration. Like, young and hot, I want you to see me looking good. I want you to adore me. Okay, that's when you're a young girl. Then as you get grown and you're kind of in that in-between part, you begin to seek your adoration as, adore me as a woman who knows who I am. When you're young and hot, you don't know who you are yet. You may feel like, okay, I look good, you know that. But at 21, you don't know who you are. Okay, I'm just going to keep real with y'all. And 21-year-old girls, honey, you'll be a whole different woman at 31 than you are at 21. So at 21, you don't really know who you are. So you can't really want to be adored for who you are because you don't even know who you are. So when you're a young girl, yeah, you want to be adored for being young and hot. Yeah, you want to be adored for the man coming and looking at you and doing that and third. When you get to that midpoint, you begin to want your adoration to be for who you are. Now you hit that midway point. Oh, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. I know who I am. I know who I'm not. I need this to be respected. And you begin to seek adoration to respect you as a person, as a woman. You see what I'm saying? Then when you get old, this is when you're supposed to retire from that. Your adoration should come from the adoration of those that you have sold into. Just follow me here. It's the need for adoration in all steps as a woman. But do you see how it changes into 3 different phases? Adore me for how I look, adore me for who I am, and then adore me for what I've done. You have a lot of mother-daughter jealousy when the mother does not know how to seek her need to have her adoration quenched through what she has done for her family, what she has sold into others. We run into a problem when a woman is supposed to be in that phase of her life, but she is still seeking adoration based off of trying to be young and hot. This is when things go left. Okay, now let's talk about this. If a woman does not evolve in her desire for adoration, she is going to clash with the women who are in that phase of their life. So while you should be retired out the game, and now you should just simply be collecting on love, adoration, and respect for all those that you have loved and nurtured throughout your life. When a woman does not know how to be happy with that, and instead she want to be admired for her looks and all this and the third, which is, I'm sorry, you at 60, you just ain't getting the admiration off a look the way a 20-year-old is, period. It's just never happening. So when a woman has not evolved there and she's still in the game of seeking adoration based on good looks, and she's trying to compete where she does not compare and never will compare, prepare for the highest level of resentment. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we see women sleeping with their daughters' boyfriends. This is where we see women giving their daughters terrible advice because she doesn't want the daughter to surpass her. I know a girl like that. Oh my God, I had to stop hanging with her. I'm like, you at the club, your daughter at the club. You and your daughter at the club at the same time, something is wrong. You at the club trying to get chose, so is your daughter. You 45, your daughter 25. Okay? The fellas are not skipping over your 25-year-old daughter for your ass. So now you in the club with the 25-year-olds mad because the men are choosing on them and not you. So your solution is, let me tell my daughter, oh, you don't need him. Oh, girl, you ain't fat, you thick. Should we touch on the weight thing? Oh, the conversation about weight is a big example of this, of old ass women who were too lazy to get themselves in shape. They were too lazy to be disciplined and get themselves together so that they would have had the space and opportunity to get a quality man, and they were too lazy to do it. So now they sit and tell the other girls they thick. Oh, that's another form of manipulation. Trust and believe it. And if you are an undisciplined woman, you'll fall for it. And you'd much rather have them lie to you and say you're thick as opposed to getting up and stop eating so much and exercising. Oh, you're not ready to have that conversation, are we? Oh, she's trying to compete with you. So now she's telling you, oh, baby, you fine the way you are. Don't lose too much weight. You're going to look sick. AKA, honey, please don't lose weight and get fine because I'm already barely hanging on for a thread as it is. And if you get yourself in a shape, it's pretty much over for me. That's a translation. And this is why Black women protect obesity as much as we do. The reason why Black women protect obesity is because Black women have come up with a defense mechanism that they lie and say they don't want to get married. They lie and say marriage is a scam. Marriage is not for everyone. This is correlated. We do not want to have the discipline to lose weight. Okay. The obesity is a huge contributing factor to why men don't want to marry you. No pun intended. The obesity is a huge factor. So because you know that, now it's like, oh, we don't want to get married. I've never seen a group of women in such the masses say they don't want to get married. Stop the cat. So women protecting obesity is their form of, okay, when we don't want to be disciplined to do what we need to do, all right, we'll just keep this obesity thing. We'll just condone this amongst each other, all right? That way we ain't got to worry about nothing. If we just have everyone fat, we don't got to worry about the young girls preventing themselves from getting fat and staying in shape and going in a gym. We cannot afford for these young women to get in a gym and not be obese. We just can't afford that to happen. So what we'll do is we'll tell them they're thick and we'll tell them that they're fly and that size ain't got nothing to do with getting a man, and that you could be skinny and still get cheated on, and that you can lose all that weight and still, that's part of the plan. And young ladies, if you're not careful, you'll fall for that and be 21, talk about you thick. But then the man thinking, why are you 21 with no children? Your metabolism's still fast and you already big. All the men, when I look back in high school, all the guys that wifed up the thick girls in high school, they fat now. Period. Men of quality know when you get with her, she need to be on a slimmer side because age, children gonna happen. All right. So they cannot afford for these girls to be out coming off the porch fine and in shape. They can't afford that. That would shut you out the competition completely. You're competing in a race you shouldn't even be running in. And since so many Black women subconsciously know that they won't get married, they have to hold on to this other phase and stage of adoration. So they convince 21-year-olds to be quote unquote thick. Okay. Let me put the link here because y'all will be able to come up and speak if you would like to add something to the chat, or if you want to come on and add something here as well. Women have to learn when it's time to stop competing. Women are not designed to compete long term. You should be getting in there, getting what you need to get, doing what you got to do, and then moving on to the next phase of your life. You should never feel like you are in competition with your daughter or the young girls. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to, let me put this. Oh, hold on. Oh, shoot. I'm putting the link up. I know a lot of sisters had said that they wanted to come up and talk. And I had some brothers say that too. Okay. I got to put the. All right. You know, as a grown woman, you should look at the young girls and be like, you should think it's cute. You know, you should think it's cute when you see the young girls. It should be like, oh, look at them. You know, you should be ready to share your expertise. These are so dirty. You should be ready to share your expertise, share your thoughts. Okay. Now, the next thing is, if your mother was never able to secure a good quality man that truly loved her for real, and this is where the brothers come into place, where I say some of you brothers, you're not even in a relationship with your girlfriend. You're in a relationship with her mom. And her mom is like a cancer taking over her mind. And all these problems you have is from the bitter issues from her mom, not even from her. A lot of brothers be like, man, her mama always, I'm going to tell y'all brothers right now, boy, if you got one of them girls where her mama don't sunk her teeth into her and, you know, put that poison in her, my brother, I'm going to be honest with you, boy, save yourself. A lot of times there is nothing that you can do with that. A lot of times she's been groomed that way from a child. And more times than not, out of fear, she's never going to say, my mom is toxic, F her, and go with you. Because again, a lot of these toxic moms, the only way is to completely cut them off. I'm going to give you guys, just give me 1 second, guys. And I'll be right back. All right. How you doing, Kai? Oh, where did you go? Oh, no. Y'all like my dress? Isn't it cute? Thank you. I love it. It's like a little baby doll. You like it? It's like a little baby doll dress. It's so cute. I love it for real. I feel so feminine and pretty and girly in it. Like I just feel like a little princess in it. Okay, Kai, you back. What's going on? I'm trying to add you on.
Hey, girl, I'm here.
Hey, I didn't know what happened.
Huh?
I didn't know what happened. I tried to add you and it went off.
Yeah, I made a second click off the StreamYard.
Oh, it's all good. How you doing?
I'm good, Six. Actually, it's a pleasure to even be able to speak with you because I've been following your page for a little bit now, kind of like a couple months.
Hey, girl.
And I'm gonna just say that you whipped me into shape. I ain't even gonna lie.
Uh-oh.
You're the big sis that you're saying things that I've never really heard someone say it. And I really do appreciate that. And I'm not gonna lie, I even started with like the topic of weight. The way you explain things at first, I was kind of like did a lot of pushback on it. But then when I began to really look within and really start to understand and take the advice, I started to notice about like how you said some of us grew up in our homes where we were told that don't leave the table until you finish eating your food. Mm-hmm. When you said that, that put so much explanation into like my eating habits because I'm like, wait, I was raised like that. So once I was able to receive that information, everything you said after that, I really just took and I just really heard and I try to understand. So
that's so dope, sis. That makes me feel so good to hear. I say all the time, I'm like, I can come up here and pop my gums and say what I want, but man, like if the sisters are not receiving it, if it's not making people say, listen, this did something productive to me, this helped me, then what is it for? So when I have sisters say that, like, you have no idea what that does for me. Like, that's what it's all about. I could say what I want. It's about what are the women saying? What are the people saying? So yeah. I appreciate just even if it's one person, just knowing that something that I said in any capacity contributes to you getting better and being better. That's what I do it for. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it even took into account when I was at work and I was looking at how the food proportions that other groups of people how they were eating. And I'm like, damn, Something really is like not wrong, but it's like my thought process of eating was so wrong. And I think if it wasn't for therapy, if it wasn't for being more open-minded, I would have never been able to really receive it well. So I'm going to be honest about that.
That's
But
dope. Thanks, sis.
you know, and even to the conversation that we're speaking today about mothers, I felt that with my mom. You know, I realized that, you know, she was a single mom, the whole baby daddy situation. And, you know, here I am 30 with no children, you know, college educated. I haven't found a significant other as of yet, but I realized some of the faults that my mama did, my grandmama did. Everybody was comfortable. Nobody worked out. Nobody had discipline. Nobody had strong work ethic. So for me, I am like the total opposite because I saw what they went through. And I'm like, well, if I see what they went through, why would I put myself through it? You know, and I saw that at an earlier age. And I knew that at an earlier age as a young woman, like, this is not the life that I want, you know? So in terms of jealousy, I can say, yeah, there were times that my mom would be like, you think you're better than. And I would be like, Mom, I don't think I'm better than. I would actually have to downplay myself to make her feel more comfortable, you know? And I had to realize, like, that was wrong, that I felt that I had to do that. So, you know, as I went to therapy and started to sift through the parent stuff, I realized, like, it don't matter what they say. It don't matter what they do. You got to be the best woman you could be. And, you know, if you're going to have to cut conversation short, you're going to have to do that with your mom and dad. And you're going to have to just be able to, like, be okay with that. And I think some people are not okay with that. So that's why just probably be like a stronghold with your parents. But it's like, you're going to have to do that eventually if you feel like, you know, they're not elevating you, you know. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people, you know, they feel like they're forced to be tortured by their parent because it's a parent. Like, you're not forced to be tortured by anybody.
no.
You're just not. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it is someone who is consistently torturing you. And we all know what I mean by torture. Torture is when you've had this conversation already. This person know that this affects you. You've let them know, hey, this is not productive for me. This is affecting me negatively. And they keep doing it. That's torturous. And why would you sit and continue to allow that to happen because someone's your mom or because they're your husband or because of your girlfriend? That doesn't make any sense. At the end of the day, as humans, we are all in charge of our own well-being. No one should sit and allow someone to torture you over and over again.
No, absolutely not. And she actually put her hands on me. You know, she did, and I did forgive those things. I don't know if I put those things in the back of my head, but I just knew that that's not what I wanted to do for my daughter when I have one. What not to do. And I saw the relationship with her mother and then her great grandmother. It's like a generational thing. And I'm just like, God, like, somebody got to break this. It's a tough road. It's a tough journey. But I can honestly say, like, I'm the first woman in my family that didn't have, like, kids young. Like, out of four generations, because even my sister had a child young. And where the father is present, none of them had fathers present. And I see that. And, you know, I get scared sometimes because I'm like, God, is this going to be my life too? Because there's no way that it's going to just skip me and it didn't skip them. So I do get worried about that. But
and you know what? You should be worried because you're absolutely right. It will happen to you too. Unless you are extremely intentional into, okay, a lot of times there's levels to this. Some women will say, like yourself, you're saying, I knew that something wasn't right. But I like how in the latter part of what you said, you began to get specific. Like, everyone had their kids young. No one really had kids with a husband that care about them. The truth is this: we will always, as women, you will always repeat your mothers and grandmothers and mother before that cycle in some way, shape, or form. Some women repeat it more obviously, some don't. You will always naturally repeat their cycle unless you intentionally and specifically identify they went wrong at XYZ. I know I cannot do XYZ. It has to be very specific. And a lot of times the way you tell if you are the one that God has chosen to break a curse, because the woman that chooses to break curses and dysfunction, it's not something you ask for. You'll have every other woman in your family just repeat the same cycles, always be the victim and do the same thing over and over again. And it will be something in you as a woman that will say, I can't do this. And that normally means that God has chosen you to be the one to break that cycle. And it sucks. And people think it's this like glorious thing of you're the chosen one to break a cycle. It's a lot of work, a lot of pressure. And you'll feel crazy when you're breaking this dysfunction, because every other woman in your family will be doing the same thing. And they'll be like, what's wrong with you? You'll be alone. You'll be secluded, and you probably won't have any support. And this is why I have my Patreon, where women who are in that place have support to go to, where the women who are like, I want different, the women who are like, I do not want to do this shit the way almost every other Black woman has done this. I just don't want to do it. I'm tired of sitting here acting like this is all good and it's fine. Like, it's for the women who are saying, screw this. Like, we got to have other ways. So, whoo, girl, you don't got me on a whole rant, but I love what you're saying, sis.
Yeah.
And I'm proud that you recognize there's a problem, and now you got to just do the work to be the one to break it, like you said, so that your future daughters don't have to go down that same path.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking me, Six. I really appreciate it.
You, sis. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. You have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
I know some of y'all in this chat like this. This is y'all in the chat knowing that you've been chosen, but don't want to admit it because you scared the challenge. Y'all in the chat like this. You don't say. I know some of y'all ladies in the chat right now looking like the nervous fox. Y'all like this. Well, I know that hit some of y'all. I know some of y'all over here like your shoulders are high and you sitting on the edge. Some of y'all like this right now. It's you that's been having that feeling. And you've been trying to ignore it because you don't want to deal with all that hard work. But it's beating you in the back of your head every chance it get. And on the low, you like, oh yeah, y'all in the chat. I know y'all over there right now like this. Yeah. I already know. This is important. Hallie says, I'm breaking the cycle and my sister is not. That's because there are never two women alive simultaneously in a family to break a dysfunction. Now, if you're the woman that break a dysfunction, you can have it set up where the women after you will have a free, plethora of non-dysfunctional life to live. But if you are the one, that's what I say, it's called the chosen one. You'll be alone. That's what I say. You'll be the only woman in the family that's over there like, this ain't it. Everyone else will still do the same thing, complain about the same problems over and over, repeat the same cycles. And you'll be the only one, and it'll just burn you up inside like, oh, something about this is not right. And yes, a lot of times your sister, she'll be doing the same thing, and born in the same household, raised the same, and you'll be the one to know something wrong. Your sister won't. Yeah. There's never two women having the awakening at the same time. I've seen where some women, she's a chosen one, realizes it, steps up, and then she can convince her sister or someone else to come to death row. But it'll never be two of you awake at the same time. So yeah, it will be you and then your blood sister. Y'all on two different pages. Oh yeah. Holly says, they don't mess with me and claim I think I'm better. Honey, my family already know. Do not call me. Do not speak to me. Do not talk to me. I ain't got nothing to say. Y'all call it what you want to call it. I don't care. Don't ask me for shit. I won't ask you for shit. Like I said, on my dad's side, we good. But then again, my dad's side is all Black. This makes sense. On my mom's side, one of my uncles had all his kids with a white woman. Okay. And so a lot of my cousins, I'm talking about first cousins. Is my camera working? Am I frozen? Am I frozen, y'all? Am I frozen? Am I frozen? I don't know why it's frozen. Like some reason the camera frozen. Let me see. Let me try to replug this in. Okay, hold on. I don't know why it's frozen. It's still frozen? Okay, I think it's better now. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Hello, Ming, how you doing?
Hi, can you hear me good?
I can hear you. How are
That's
you?
great. I'm really good. First of all, thank you for having this live. I'm not trying to like this conversation is really needed, especially,
Mhm.
I don't want to pin it down in just like the Black community, but this can go for everyone. The subject is really triggering for me, touchy for me because this is something that I've dealt with along with many others for years, especially with my own mother, the back and forth. My parents were young. My parents were like teenagers when they had me, and not
Okay.
only were they young, but they were very abusive towards each other physically. They
Oh.
were together for like about 11, 10 years, and it was growing up, that's all I would see in the household. And, it kind of got to a point where it was just comfortable to just do that in front of me and my sister. Um, and, because of the situation that happened with my dad, I don't know if that maybe that bitterness that she felt towards my dad, that she couldn't really fight back or she couldn't really say the things she wanted to say. It was me and my sister that had that towards us. It was just like us that was the problem. You guys are the reason why I'm being hit by this man. You guys are the problem. I wish, I never had you, or I wish I would have just aborted you. Like my life would have been so much better. Like she would say those things.
Mm.
And, she
Woo.
constantly made it known that she was unhappy with herself, unhappy with her life, and was extremely insecure and wished things differently. As a child, like imagine you're 5 years old and a grown adult is telling you about all the struggles that they face in life and the things that it's just like from when I was a kid, it was just ingrained in my head, like you're the reason why my life is like this.
Mm.
So at growing up, every success that I would encounter, it was never appreciated, and it's actually from both of my parents. Unfortunately, it was just everything that I accomplished, it was always compared instantly to what they didn't get to do. It's like, oh, I wish I would have done that, if this didn't happen, or I would have been there. So I kind of learned to not say much of my success, but that was
Mm.
unfortunate because going to high school, your parents didn't show up. Award ceremony, your parents are not there, your mother's not there. She makes an excuse or flakes the last minute of why she couldn't be there. I think I had left a comment also stating how I got accepted to one of the best colleges that you can go to in New York City, the one of the colleges of my dreams. And I was a dependent at the time, and I didn't have certain documents, and she intentionally held those documents from me until they had to withdraw the acceptance. And that was when I really knew, like, this person does not want me to succeed in life. This person doesn't want the best for me, because it was always, I didn't get to go to college, so if I'm not going, you're not going. I didn't get to do this, so if I didn't do it, you're not going to do it. It was just no no emotional support, nothing. It was just neglect when it came to anything I achieved. And listening to you speak about this, I'm so sorry if I'm like fumbling. I'm really upset. It's just triggering for me because
Mhm.
I don't live with my parents. I live in a whole different state. I don't really speak to my dad. It's just when you said that, some people are chosen to break certain cycles, because I have a lot of women in my family, so they all fell under the same thing, and they're all bitter, and they all compete with their daughters. So a lot of my younger cousins and I, we kind of try to break that cycle. We try to succeed in life. And a lot of us don't get that support because there's like this hierarchy of these older women in the family that's like, oh my God, they think they're better than us. They think they know what they're, they they're, just, and
Mm-hmm.
it just sucks because a lot of stuff I would deal with alone, a lot of stuff, like I would be the black sheep in the family and it would be no support. And I've kind of always dealt with that. And, when you broke it down and you've explained it, it's like, yeah, like this has to be the reason why I'm alone, and I can't be happy with my family when it comes to my success because instantly is everyone becomes bitter and they start ripping me apart.
So
I'm
look,
sorry.
so
Yeah, go ahead.
and that, that, like my brain is combusting trying to
I'm
like,
so sorry. That was a lot. I
no,
know.
listen, stop apologizing. All that constant apologizing. See how your mama got you messed up? Stop apologizing. Why are you, you don't even know why you're apologizing right now. Stop apologizing. That's a trauma response. You don't need to say sorry for speaking on how the fuck you feel right now. Ain't nothing to apologize about. Period. Now, let me ask you this. Like, have you officially like cut off your whole, like, have you gave your family a funeral in your head?
Yeah, I have.
So you live in one state and majority of your
Yeah.
family live in another state.
Yeah.
And you know what? Thank God. Like, it would have really hurt me to hear you say what you just said and then be like, oh yeah, my family lived down the road. I am so glad that you live totally separate from them. Honestly, I would just never deal with them again. I'm not going to hold you. I would just never deal with them. Like, that is so, oh, like you have some worse enemies who still won't go out their way of your progress. So they might just not like you and stay out your way. But it is a next level of evil to proactively stop somebody from progressing, especially your own child. Like, my brain is like literally combusting, trying to like process what you're saying that your mom has going on. You are an example
Yeah.
of someone who more than likely, yes, is a chosen one, and you had no choice but to cut your family off. I'm sorry. What else can you do in these situations? In a situation like yours, literally, if you did not cut off your whole family, it would kill you. And when I say kill you, we think kill just automatically means you're physically dead. Dealing with family like that will kill your will to live, will kill your will to be ambitious, to succeed in life.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you did the right thing and loved yourself enough to get out of there. There's nothing you could do with that situation. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I wasn't going to speak on this part, but I
Yeah.
kind of have to speak on this because a lot of times when you have men who are abusive, abuse is a sick mindset. Like, when a man is physically abusive towards a woman, it means his brain is sick. And that sickness can also transfer into other sick things like incest thoughts, pedophilic thoughts, graping thoughts. And I'm going to tell you something else. And this is going to sound weird, but I've seen this a lot of times.
Yeah.
Where I've even seen mothers be jealous of their daughters because something in the mother feels like the father is attracted to the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this sounds so weird. It doesn't always mean that the father physically touched the daughter or that anything ever happened. But sometimes the mother can be so psychotic and so insecure that she is jealous of her daughter as though she's some woman on the street that her husband likes or shows interest in. And she will try to sabotage you almost like a mean girl to make you less appealing to your own father.
Right.
Okay. But what it come down to is your situation is absolutely terrible. I am so glad you moved on. Your job is going to be to write a new story. I'm glad you moved away. You need to be, focused on yourself, getting yourself together and starting your own family and starting a new reality.
Yeah.
And when your kids ask, where's grandma? Be like, she had a surgery on her voice box and she can't talk. And so did your grandfather. The whole
Yeah.
family had a surgery and they all can't talk. You know, I'm just like, you have to literally like,
Yeah.
then when they get older, you tell them the truth. That's all you can do, sister. And but I appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us. That's who girl, sis, I will
I
be
know that
praying
was a
for you.
lot. I tried to condense it, but I really appreciate you accepting me to speak. But definitely something that I've still affects me to this day a little bit because, of course, certain traumas, they kind of follow you and you have to be the one to break that out. I mean, there's obviously like resources, you can do therapy, you can,
Mm-hmm.
find an outlet, a positive outlet. But that's just, like even reading the comments and seeing everyone else's experience, it's really disheartening. I always told myself that even though I grew up in that unfortunate situation, that has taught me what not to do with my own children. I
Mm-hmm.
always would
Because
say to myself,
that's the truth,
yeah,
sis. The situations like yours will either cause you to do one or two things. It'll either cause you to become just like your mom or nothing like her. There's no in between. You'll either
yeah,
be just like her or the total opposite. So I'm glad that you're being intentional and choosing, okay, I'm gonna do the opposite. But let
all
me get
right.
some of the other ladies on here.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much for
much,
coming
Six.
on
I
me.
really
I appreciate
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. You have a good evening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this comment that Holly left, I find particularly interesting. She says, growing up with a narcissistic mom can make men gay or choose another race. Only one of my brothers are married to a black woman. Now, this is a pure fact. This is a pure fact. Them super narcissistic, controlling mothers always criticize you, can never take accountability for their, part in things, very controlling over you, won't let you do this, won't. Yeah, a lot of men, it will cause them to grow up and be homosexual. Yes. Matter of fact, a narcissistic mother can cause a child, male or female, to grow up and be homosexual. Yes, it can. But I've noticed a lot of gay men, you look at their mothers, you're like, I see why, because he will always associate the voice and visual of a woman with someone trying to control him or deny him of opportunities that he wants. And this is actually very common. And if he does turn out not homosexual, yes, a lot of if we're talking about a black male narcissist, yes, more than likely he will not be, I'm sorry, a black male raised by a narcissist, more times than not, yes, he will not get with a woman that look like the mother. And the other ironic part is that a lot of narcissists breed more narcissists. You see, that's why I told her, I said, your only option is you're either going to become a narcissist too, and that trauma from your mother neglecting you is going to cause you to stop emotionally. A lot of narcissists, if they have to think back to their earliest childhood memory, that's where they stopped progressing emotionally. Narcissistic people can, they feel emotions, they just shut them off. So a lot of narcissists, they have shut off their emotions wherever the first time they got hurt or got abandoned. So we don't narcissism is not something you're necessarily born with. Okay. Narcissistic parents will drive their kids insane, literally. So if you grow up with a narcissistic parent, your option is to either say, I am aware of this, I'm aware of their ways, and I will never be that way, or you're going to become one too, as a defense mechanism to protect yourself from what they did. It's like mental health is so important. Why is this not more of a thing? You know, hello, Miss Zena. How are you?
I am good. You look so pretty, girl. You look.
Thanks, girl. We do what we can, girl.
I just want to quickly. I'm so glad you did this topic. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you did this because I just want to basically share my experience. I'm just gonna sum it up. So, it started out when I was little. I always, even being the middle child, I always felt like the odd one out. My dad, he wasn't in my life,
Mm-hmm.
my mom, we just did not get along. I'm talking about I went through a lot of mental health issues to the point me as a child was wanting to kill myself. Like it's just a lot of stuff that I did. And my mom, she just would label me, oh, you're bad. You're bad. She never wanted to talk to me, figure out anything. She would also be abusive to the point, like I remember with my middle school pictures, she had to pay for enhancements because I had a big old knot on my forehead, because she was one of those parents who would cuss, call me hoes, call me BIT, fight with me. And she was like one of those people who just was a toxic parent. She was very, very toxic. And like then she wondered when I became older and I moved away, get old enough, I distanced myself and I moved away because I never was a person to call my mama names. I never was a person to put my hands on my mama. I only defended myself. Like I never did that. I'm not that kind of person. And I would literally feel my sister, team with her. Like it was very bad. So when I became an adult, here I am, with my I got married, had kids and all of that. But when I first was with my husband, she would say things like, oh, well, he's not going to marry you. There's no way he's going to marry you. And I'm like, why would you think that? Like, why would you feel that? Because
your daddy ain't marry her.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where
She had one good marriage and it never worked out. Like she was the problem in the marriage. I found that out later. But it's like she would discourage me from everything. Like, oh, he's not going to marry you. And if he marries you, it's only because you did have a child. Because I did end up having a child when I was young, out of wedlock. Projection.
Yeah. And then
they project their own. They project what they did on you. Another sign of a narcissistic mom. Everything they accuse you of doing or not doing is because they doing it or can't do it. Every time.
Yeah, and she swore up and down that he was never going to marry me when I already knew he was, but she said up and down he was not going to marry me. And then I remember when I bought a house, I got a house built. She would say, "Why would you get a house like that? You don't get the best house the first time. You just get a house that something simple, and then you get a bigger house." I'm like, the stuff you say just don't make sense. Like it's like she would hate my progress in life because I would do more than her. She would hate that progress in life. Now it's to the point none of my siblings have all understood what she has been doing their whole lives, and nobody is dealing with her now. Like we're now just at a point to where we got close because she used to turn us against each other all the time.
Oh yes. Oh my God. That is another. Oh girl, that is another one. Oh my God. Yes, they will turn you against your siblings. Oh my Lanta, because they don't want you to have anybody to support you. So they will cause a rift even between their own children to avoid that. And my thing is this is my question. Again, when we have a father or a man be toxic or do wrong, why is it so accepted socially to blast that man, tell everyone what he did? It can be the talk of the town. Every shortcoming, every mistake he made, we blast it. But for some reason, then when it comes to the women, when it comes to the mothers, we have to just quietly fall back, not tell anybody about the horrible things they did. We can't speak ill on them. Like we need to start putting women like this on blast. Not saying like on the internet, but just like how we'll gladly tell a story like my daddy won shit, he was never there. We need to equally start being as vocal as my mama won shit. That bitch wasn't shit, never was shit, never will be. We need to stop protecting toxic, narcissistic, ain't shit moms. Why do we all have to just say my mom was great? This is what I wrote about in my book. It's okay to say my mom may have, and there's levels to it. Like I know for me, for my mom personally, she made mistakes that I did not want to make, but I cannot say my mother was a bad person or wasn't a good mom or ever tried to hold me down. So I'm not saying that it has to be, oh, my mom was a terrible person, I don't want to be like her, but there's levels to it. It can be my mom was terrible, I don't want to be like her, or it could be my mom made certain mistakes and I don't want to repeat them. That is okay. We have got to stop this stigma that we are not allowed to speak on mom. That bitch is not
Yes.
exempt. Period.
Right. And
And I
I've been
say bitch for a reason. That bitch is not exempt. We need to start blasting they ass the same way we blast ain't shit daddies. Period. Stop protecting these toxic moms. Blast that bitch.
And you know what, Six? I've been saying it for years. Like I try to, and see, it's crazy
Period.
because my sister and them, like they're just now starting to see. And I'm like, y'all just now seeing this. Like I've been going through this with my mama for years, a long, long time. And it's just like now the tables are starting to turn to where everybody's against her. Because she used to put everybody against any sibling that she fell out with. But now the tables have turned to where it's like all of us now are getting closer with each other by speaking about our trauma that my mama has caused. But see, my mama refuses to acknowledge any single trauma that she has caused. She ignores everything. She's the victim every time when her failed marriages, her friends. Like me and my sister had a bad relationship, terrible relationship. So it's like we're just now starting to really talk and understand, like, oh my God, my mama has caused us to hate each other. My mom's addicted to gossip. She would in drama, she will tell all my business to my sister's business to my brother. Like she's one of those people who causes a lot of drama because she thrives off of it. So I just experience, because I'm just so glad you spoke about this, because it's something I'm currently going through now, to where we're like we're healing, getting past all the trauma. We just had to cut her out, and we can't even it really came to the conclusion we can't even have a relationship with each other if our mom's involved. We can't.
Listen, your mother is giving narcissist, period. Okay.
Yes.
She everything you're describing, she won't admit to nothing. She loved to cause drama. She turn it. Oh my God. Listen, the only solution to dealing with a narcissist is to just not speak to them, no contact whatsoever. There's nothing you can do. That I just highlighted a comment where it said their behavior will begin to make you believe that you're not worthy. Like they'll put you down so much. That's a psychological warfare. That's why I say y'all crazy as hell. It couldn't be me. You're cut off. I'm not letting nobody bring me down. I don't care. I don't care if you're my mom, my boyfriend, I don't care. We cannot allow people, again, if you sit and let someone in your ear like that, continue to disrespect you, dehumanize you, put you down, breadcrumb you, treat you less, it will begin to affect the way you look at yourself. So the only way, like you kind of said it yourself, the only way you will be able to have a healthy life and a relationship with your siblings is to cut her ass out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate. Yeah, but keep doing these topics, because it is definitely healing, and I'm just glad that we're now at a place to where we can kind of see her for what she is, move past it. So I appreciate you having this show, and you have a good day.
Oh, you too, sis. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, what someone said, can you talk about mothers bullying? The bullying is, I kind of just covered that. She'll bully you for different reasons. Either she's feels like having you didn't keep your dad around, or you're everything she's not, and she feels as though by you being everything she's not, that you're highlighting her flaws and making her feel ashamed, so she's mad when you do better. You know, all the mother bullying you is all for different reasons. It's to break you in some way. Again, you do have some mothers where they feel like your daddy was kind of giving you the look like, and she'll treat you like a woman on the street trying to get her man. All right. There could be many reasons why your mother is bullying you. I'm so glad we're having these kind of conversations, because again, we're never allowed to talk about this. Let a man be a deadbeat father. Oh, we will plaster it all over the way. When a woman does it, it's nothing. Zoe, how you doing?
Hi, Six. How are you?
I am good. You have something you want to add to the conversation?
Yeah. When you said that mothers will, talk about your weight in front of people, that happened to me. I remember I was at a funeral. One of our church sisters died, and I was saying hi to an old friend, and my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, do you see how much weight Zoe has gained?" In front of everybody. I was so embarrassed. I immediately left. I was crying. I had to call my brother to come pick me up. I was very, very, very upset. And then when I spoke to my mother about it, she acted like she was the victim, and she was like, well, don't tell your boyfriend that you talk to your mom like this because he won't marry you.
Oh.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so terrible.
Wow.
And she never said sorry. I was like, Mom, that really hurt me that you did that. She never said sorry. I had to leave before saying bye to all of my old childhood friends and everything. And yeah, it was just a really hard, like tough experience for me. And when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that little thing literally happened to me.
Yeah.
Like it was a whole bunch of people.
It's even worse. Like jealous mothers, don't be around no jealous mother in front of no man. Oh, especially when there's men around. Oh my gosh, she cannot wait to put you down and make you look bad in front of men because she wants the man to desire her or choose her more. And when in your situation, like, why did she have to bring up like, oh, your boyfriend will never marry you? Like, first of all, like you said, you go to, and you see what I mean by narcissistic mothers? You go to her with a valid concern. Ma'am, you commented on my weight in front of a group of people, childhood friends. This was inappropriate. This embarrassed me. This is something you could have said to me in private. This is a valid concern because you have to address that. Otherwise, every time you're with her somewhere in public, you'll run the risk of her saying that again. So you have a valid concern where you come to her and say, hey, this embarrassed me. I would like this to not happen anymore. It did not make me feel good. Please speak to me in private. Her response to that is not to acknowledge what you said, but to deflect and somehow blame you and say that your boyfriend will not marry you if he sees how you speak to her. Do you see the sickness in that?
Yeah.
And in your situation, that would have, when I would have seen her respond, because basically her response like that was to tell you, bitch, I'll do it again. So you know what I would do if I was you? I would not go nowhere in public with her ass. Because it's but a matter of time before she's going to embarrass you again. You see how you got to deal with them? You cannot give them too many opportunities to screw you over. The minute that you saw that she did that, which anybody with common sense, don't think that narcissists don't know that what they're doing is wrong. They know. This is why she was like, oh, well, don't tell anyone. Like, don't tell him the way they know they're wrong. That's why they don't want anybody to know what they did. Okay, so anybody with common sense knows you don't tell someone, oh, look how big they're getting in front of a group of people. Everyone knows you don't do that. She know that. And instead of her apologizing, her solution is, oh, look how you talking to me. Your man ain't gonna marry you. Her ass will be cut clean off from any public appearances with me. You hear me? She would have went straight to I'll see you at the crib duty. Because by her not apologizing, she letting you know, I will do it again. And narcissists push things to the next level each time. Every time you forgive them and take them back, the next time they do something wrong, it'll get worse each time. So this time it was, she said, oh, look how big she get in front of people. The next time she'll be like, did you get that yeast infection cleared up? Girl, she had a yeast. You see what I'm saying? Not saying you had one, but I'm giving you an example of how if you forgive her, even though she didn't say sorry and still be in her face, she will resent you for it. And the next time, she going to say something worse. So what she'll do is put her ass on desk duty. I call that desk duty. Her ass be on desk. I won't bring you nowhere around nobody where you can say something to embarrass me. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not always you have some situations where it's like, no, you got to cut her off completely. You have some situations like yours, it sounds like, where she should be on desk duty, where you simply cannot just put them in an opportunity to have the power to embarrass you in front of others. You see?
Yeah, definitely. I actually lost 20 pounds since then.
That's great.
So yeah, so I do look better. So she actually has never done that ever again. So like she can't, say that, anymore. And honestly, I live like 5 hours away from my family. I can't spend more than 72 hours. around my my family. It's just not for me. I have chosen to. I've outgrown where I came from. I have chosen to live far away, and when I choose to be around them, when I think I can mentally handle it, I go. But to see, like, my little cousins and stuff, and my niece. But besides that, I really don't really hang around them that much. And then they also wonder, oh, why don't you call? Why don't you visit more often? That's why, like, yeah.
Girl,
So
please.
yeah, that's all I
They
wanted to
already
say,
know.
sis.
Don't
Thank
ask
you
me
so
that
much.
shit. You're welcome,
Yeah.
sis. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
My folk already know how I get down. They're like, you mean. Please. I love me. Boy, I be telling y'all all the time, honey, it's the me for me. Whoo! When I look in the mirror, I be like, oh, woman, I love you so much. I be looking at myself like, wow, I am just enamored with you. Oh, man, I love you. I be telling my girls on my Patreon, you need to look at yourself and let yourself know, whoo, girl, I love you, girl. You do it for me. Talk to yourself just like that. I be like, girl, you're gorgeous. Wow. What, you've been through so much. And look at you, still got a good heart, still a good person. Wow, you're so smart. You're a good mom. You're so loving. Like, you're such a good lover. You didn't let life make you bitter. Like, girl, girl, it's the you for me. You look good. You know what I'm saying? You got to feel this way about yourself. Too many women, you can't look in the mirror and name 5 things you like about you and not just external. And because you have not fallen in love with yourself, because you letting people tell you, you arrogant, you are not, whatever. Hello, I don't give a damn what you say, honey. I'm fucked up about me. This is why you have a problem setting boundaries, cutting people off that hurt you, because deep down inside, you don't really love you. Honey, you better love you. Who? Boy, anybody could get it. Anybody can get the fuck ASAP. Well, I don't care what nobody say. Who? Well, I won't give you a bunch of opportunity to hurt me. Then
Hey,
they
what's
say
going on,
D-man.
Six?
How
Yeah,
you
hey
doing?
Dad. How you? I'm doing good, sister. I was listening
You sound a little bit low
to this topic because I was just with a.
Can you get louder? Can you get like closer to? I don't know
Can
if
you
you're
hear me now?
far away from the device, but it's kind of hard to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little bit better.
Can you hear? Okay, I've been tuning in for quite some time, and I'm kind of glad you brought that topic up because
Okay, your audio is going
I've
in
seen
and
women
out.
like
Like
that
it,
go
like
through
I'll
that.
hear it and then it'll kind of go back and hear it again. Like, are you on like a wireless device?
I'm actually. Do you hear some audio in my background, or you don't hear anything?
No, it's like you're going in and out. Like it's like in and out.
I'm just hold on. I'm just gonna call you. I'm just gonna call you on another. I'm just gonna use another device. I'm just gonna use another device. That's cool.
If you got on AirPods or something, take them out and come back in. Okay. Britt, how you doing?
Hey sis, what's up? I'm good.
Hey girl, hey, how you doing?
I'm chilling, girl. How you feeling?
I'm doing good, girl. You got something you want to add to the subject?
Girl, I'm so glad you brought this subject up. So I work in the salon space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know what you said, like your experience in the salon. And when I say the women who I would expect to be encouraging, they be the ones hating. And they be the grown women.
Oh yeah.
60s,
Old
50s,
assholes.
old hoes.
Old assholes. Just make me sick.
I ain't gonna be long. So changed my lifestyle. I started listening to you. You know, you got the girls in check. We got it together over here, right? So 5 years ago, changed my lifestyle, lost a bunch of weight. But when I started listening to you, I actually did this challenge with my clients, right? So we did a 30-day challenge, dresses, makeup, go outside, look presentable, do your thing. And so it started catching on. So it went from 30 to 60 days, 60 to 90 days. So I work in a salon with other stylists. So the older women would be like, why y'all coming in here dressed up? Why you dressed up all the time? Why you look good all the time? What you doing that for, a man? I'm like, well, why would I not do it for a man? Well, first of all, why would I not do it for myself? But second of all, why would I not look good for my man?
Honey, period.
You know? So I just wanted to add that because I was actually very surprised to see that once I started the challenge, that the women who was hating the most was the oldest women.
Oh, yeah. Again, they're still trying to compete in the wrong way. Okay, they need to compete in their own way. They need to compete for how many lives did you nurture into productivity and prosper and to prosper.
Right.
That's how they need to be competing. But see, toxic old hoes like that, they have not used their feminine energy to sow love and nurturing and to grow and nurture things to life and health. So as they get older, they can't compete like that. Exactly. I talk all the time about your feminine resume. I'm sorry, your feminine portfolio. They don't have a portfolio. They cannot say, I've nurtured this relationship, this human being. They can't say that. So since they have no way to compete with what they have nurtured into love and productivity as a woman, they still trying to compete with looks. And instead of, and they got to work 10 times as hard to look half as good as the young girls. So yes, their solution will be to keep the young girls looking bad, discourage them from looking their best, to tell them that marriage is a scam and you don't need a man. That's what they'll do. And it be the ones you least expect, and that's sad.
Yeah. And then to add, it's so interesting because I started playing. I said, okay, we're not gonna watch gossip, and we're not doing all that in the salon. So I'll put you on in the salon, right?
Oh, now why would you do that,
girl? Because
now why would you do that?
I love it. I love me some. I love to stir the pot. I'm gonna stir the pot.
Oh, you did more than putting me on at a hair salon, baby. That's doing more than stirring the pot. So baby, now, you taking a hot pot of scalding water and hitting it over the balcony.
Girl,
like, baby,
so
I don't know why you would do that.
I believe in the patriarchy. I'm a pick me. I'm all of these things. But the beautiful thing is my quality of life has changed so much and improved so much. It's like, yeah, that's it, girl. That's all I want to add.
That's all I be saying. I be like, come to death row. I be like, all the past me chicks. Shout out to Danique and Marie for coming up with the term past me. All the past me chicks, they over there fighting their nature,
girl,
fighting what God designed them to do, holding hands in the woods, doing kumbaya to try to cope with living every day, fighting against what God put you here to do. Let me tell you, I mean, come to death row, come to pick me row. Why we better out here? We don't fight our nature. We accept it for what it is. Honey, yeah, we like our man over here. Yeah,
we like it over here. I ain't gonna lie, we love it over here. It's easy over
here. We look good over here. We in shape. We looking good. I'm like, come to death row. Come on. Come on. I appreciate you, sister.
No problem, sis. Thank you, sis, for everything.
Have a good one. Man, come to death row, y'all. If you sick and tired of having to hold hands in the woods and burn a candle to suppress your desire for a man's acceptance and adoration, and it's helping him, supporting him in his life, just come to death row. If you tired of having to say, I do this for me, I don't do this for no man, but deep down inside you're mad because the man ain't checking for you and you did all that, and deep down you're like, well, damn, I did all this and the man ain't checking for me because your attitude, you got a pass me girl attitude, and it's killing you inside, and you're tired of reading books and joining. Come to death row, baby. Come to death row, baby. Join my Patreon. My Patreon is death row. Come to death row. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Come on, Sierra, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. You have something that you want to add to the subject?
Yes. So my story is a little different, but I want to just acknowledge it so we can have a different perspective. My mom is one of those loving, controlling mothers. So on the outside looking in, you would see a mom caring for her child, but when the doors close, exactly as you said, she will pin us against each other. Like it's like you name my life. Pin us against each other. She would complain like, oh, well, maybe if you lost a little bit more weight, you know, you could never be skinny enough. I was like, I remember at one time I was 98 and she's like, oh no, your body is too full. You're getting too much attention, lose weight. And I'm like, but it's not going to look good on the form that you gave me. You know, my shape is going to be weird. And growing up, I never really understood until I became of age, that our mom and their mom have so much trauma. And exactly as you said, like we had to be aware enough to separate ourselves to be like, hey, this is not normal. Let's try to seek like a different perspective, because it took me a while to like understand that, you know, to the point where now, as you said, you have to separate from the family, and you also have to separate from, you know, the mom if it doesn't get to a point where they're not understanding or they're not trying to understand you. So
Yep.
I definitely agree. Everything that you have said, I literally lived it myself. So it's not as if like you're making this up.
Oh
And
no.
regards, yeah, like in regards of, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say just Black women, because
Oh
I'm
no, that's what I say. When I had the conversation, I'm speaking on Black women as a Black woman, but I said non-Black women, like white women, are the worst narcissistic psychotic moms. Trust and believe it.
yes.
Whereas as Black women, our dysfunction stems from something different. Ours is different, but I said in the beginning, I said white narcissistic moms are the worst. I'm talking about they're the worst of anybody. I said I'm not saying it's just Black moms that do this. Oh no, it is white moms that do it, and in my opinion, they worse than Black moms. So yeah.
I mean, I would differ from that. I would say Spanish mothers are the worst, because it's more in my proximity. I do have white friends as well. They are bad, but Spanish mom, it's like okay, in my opinion, not to say my opinion is the answer. In my opinion, white moms, they try to say like you're not good. So it's like a self-worth. Spanish mom and Black mom, in my opinion, they break you down if you let them, or you'll have a psychological warfare to the point where, just like the girl said, there has been times where you're like, you know what, even though I'm being productive and I'm a good member of society, the world would be better like without me. Let me go kill myself. And it's like that
Don't say
doesn't
it on YouTube, child.
well, and yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no, I get what you're
yeah.
saying. Yeah.
So it's like because of that. And oh, the worst thing of it all though is when we have conversation like this, even when, you know, the girls that have a mom who kind of want to know, we send them a video and it's like, hey, what do you think about this? They'll never own up to what they do, and that's the part that's ending us the most.
Yeah. That to me, you know, we all got problems. We all got, you know, there's a difference between in your relationships with people in general, whether it's your mother, a family relationship, friend relationship, romantic relationship. In all relationships, there will be adversity. Every party will have flaws, will have faults, but it is a different level of frustration when someone gaslights you to say that you are not experiencing what in fact you are, when you realize they're never going to get it, they're never going to acknowledge it, never say sorry. And I've talked about this before. I said we all got trauma and pain. Every person that's breathing right now has some form of pain and trauma that they are working past to get there through their everyday life. Everyone. And anyone who say they don't, they're lying. Like, for example, for me, it's my mother passing away. There every day I'm fighting for my life. Every single day. There is not a day that go by that I am not fighting for my life, missing my queen. That does not mean that I am able to bleed out onto others and hurt other people because of my issues and my traumas. The frustrating thing about dealing with people like your mother is in their mind, they feel as though their issues, their trauma, their problems give them the right to be rude and hurt other people. You are not wrong for having your wounds and your flaws. You are wrong when you let your wounds and your flaws bleed out onto other people. When your wounds are just bleeding out onto everyone around you. Everybody should be holding their wounds tight to keep from bleeding out every day. Everyone fighting their own battles. No one has time to sit and deal with another grown adult who is letting what they've been through hurt you when you got your own problems.
Wow.
So I want you to understand that. You are absolutely right. I'm glad that you have accepted that. It's never going to change, and you're never going to admit they're wrong. You got to just deal with them accordingly. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, sister.
And I just want to acknowledge what you said. I'm so sorry that you have to go through that every day, but the big but, with that being said, you have done a lot for us. So do not, the bigger picture is the sacrifice of her leaving us has given us you. So I thank her for that. Although I don't know her.
And I appreciate that, sis. That's a fact. And that's why I do what I do. You know, a big part of it is it's an outlet. You know what I'm saying? It's an outlet. But my point was just that we all got things we fighting for every day. That's why some people, they be like, how you doing? I be like, I'm fighting for my life. And people kind of be like, what do you mean? You ain't fighting for your life? I just feel like I'm fighting for my life. It's a thing. So I appreciate you, sister.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. You know, everybody be acting like every day is just peaches and cream. Not me. I fight for my life. When I wake up, the minute I crack my eye open in the morning, I'm fighting for my life. I don't know about y'all. Boy, the minute I coop, the minute my eye go boop, and I wake up, I'm fighting for my life. You know, it's certain pain you never get over. You learn how to fight through it, I guess. You know, you learn how to move along in spite of. But you fighting for your life. Let's keep it real, everybody. And then people want to come and throw they load on you if you don't get your own. Well, you better deal with your own shit. I ain't got time for that. Allie, how you doing?
Hey, Six, how are you?
Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing, girl?
I'm fine. Girl, this is my first time ever doing something like this. I hardly ever get on people's lives. I'm like really shy. Let me turn you up. Yeah. So I seen the title, and I'm always on YouTube doing self-help videos. I'm trying to get my life together. But I always see this topic, and my whole life is basically this scenario. My mom, just like other women in this on this video on this live, me and my mom never got along, and I feel like as an adult, all I'm trying to do is, or just my everyday life, I'm trying not to be her. And I heard you say earlier, I think you said something about how we either, try our best not to be our moms, or we end up becoming our moms. And everything I've done so far, I felt like I've done the total opposite of her. I felt like I went to college. I'm now at the point since I've, became more aware about this world and my life, and, how valuable it is. In my children's life too. I got children too. I've homeschooled. I'm homeschooling them. Homeschooling them. And, of course, I got backlash from that. My mama didn't agree with it. She don't agree with anything that I do with my life. So because she doesn't agree, and because we don't have this relationship, I don't get support from her. I don't get support from her at all. She don't watch my kids when I need her to, or if, honestly, when I first had my first son, I never got the motherly support from her. She because our relationship was so and I think I mentioned in the chat that my mom was, unsupportive of everything I did. Even when I went to college, she wouldn't even, help me financially, like just giving basic information of, in our application process, so anything I've ever did, she never really wanted to support. If I can give a quick backstory about it, when I was 13, actually since I was 12, I would cook, I would help take care of my brothers and sisters. while she went to work. And it was one day she went to the hospital. She was in the hospital for a couple days, and I was left in charge. I was always in charge of my brothers and sisters, like most of us. I was 13. I was in charge. I was like her little assistant.
Yeah.
I did everything she told me to do. I was not insubordinate. I had a sister that did the total opposite of everything I did. She was the worst. She was way worse than me, but I got treated worse. My mom was so hard on me. And one day when she was in the hospital for a couple of days, she was one of those real controlling, strict parents. She didn't want us going outside. She didn't want us, talking on the phone. We couldn't do anything. And so I was in charge, and I was like, listen, we finna kick it. We finna go outside. She in the hospital. We just finna live for a second, And it got back to her that we cut loose. We cut up while she was gone. And so, long story short, she found out about it. She came home, beat the living crap out of me. She told my brothers and sisters to watch. We all have different stories about that. Yeah, it was bad. I passed out. She choked until I passed out. When I was coming to, she was on the phone with CPS telling them to come get me before she killed me. And I never did anything, I never did anything like just to the point where I deserved any of that, And so fast forward to my life now, because, and then not to mention, she did give up her rights over me while I was in foster care. And all I was trying to do, because at first they gave me the option, hey, do you want to go home or do you not? I was like, heck no, I don't want to go home to that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be free from her, and now I had 6 other brothers and sisters. And so, now I feel like I've always gotten treated differently from everybody. Plus, I was like
that's what toxic mothers, that's what they'll do. They'll purposely treat all their children differently to cause a rift between the siblings.
Right.
So now let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this: are you in contact with your mother present day?
I actually am. I've been fighting for our relationship, and I know I heard you say, and I honestly, I was that person that put my mom on punishment. When I woke up and became aware of myself and my melanated, being in existence, I tried to wake everybody up. I tried to put people on this knowledge and, get them to learn and see and do their things differently. I created that distance, and it was because she didn't agree with everything, obviously. And because of our relationship has always been, this. And so I've gotten to a place now. I got more kids, I'm feeding for a motherly figure in my life. I'm feeding for some guidance, and excuse me, but I just been wanting her
around. Make me cry. I ain't got time to cry today. Oh hell no.
I'm sorry. I'm so freaking emotional, but I be trying to be hard, girl. I do. I really try to suck it up and fight for my life, like you said.
Hard. No, we don't do that.
I know, but I felt like I've had to do that in certain instances of my life because, I got plenty stories of how my mom just, broke me down, and even though I've done everything she asked me to do, I was always the child that, was scared of her, and everybody else was kind of daring.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to wrap this up and kind of get to the outcome now. So how is y'all relationship now? Like, what does it look like now?
So, like I said, I've been wanting her around, and now it's like, I do feel like it's like ingenuine a little bit, especially on her part, because, she got this toxicness about her, even still, like you mentioned, she doesn't have no accountability. Whenever I used to talk to her.
Y'all live in the same city?
Same city, same state, yes.
So, like, do you see her often or?
Actually, no, it ain't the same city. She's like 20, 30 minutes out from me. But I don't see her often. Like I said, she's not the grandmotherly type. So no, we don't see each other every day. But I've been reaching out because I felt like maybe I could, just kind of ease my way
Ease your weight. What are you easing back into? What value does she bring to you or your children's life?
I guess because I don't have anybody.
You don't have shit with her ass either. What are you holding on to? Like you're saying you're trying to give it one more chance at what? For her to ruin your kids? How she tried to ruin you? And it sucks, but sometimes as a woman, you got to stand on your own 2 feet to get the real support, which is, I know it sounds ironic. So many times we're in the mindset of, and this is how our mothers fuck us up. You see what I'm saying? I know you're saying you have children. Let your children be who is for you. Let their father, your husband, whoever be for you. Like you cannot allow her to cause your mind to be codependent to where you trying to come to her. Excuse me, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I had to fuss at my child. Got my Wi-Fi. I ended up using all the Wi-Fi to play
I knew what
Roblox,
you was
right?
doing when you went. Yeah, I knew exactly what that was. I was doing the
Do
same
y'all
thing.
see me? Am I skipping and glitching in the comments?
Yeah, the video.
How do I look on here? Am I like moving slow? Is it like on a lag?
Mm-hmm.
It is?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and begin to wrap this up. But you have a fake codependent ideal. Daryl, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, keep blessing us live. Oh, thank you so much, Daryl. Yes, lagging. Elijah, I know you on that Wi-Fi. Turn whatever devices you have on, turn them off. I am not playing with you.
Yeah, we can still hear you. It's just the video is a little laggy.
Lord, pray for me for the strength. Lord. But don't let her get you to that place where, and that's the fucked up part of dealing with narcissistic people, is they give you nothing or the bare minimum, and then
bare minimum,
your mind that you need that bare minimum. That's why they purposely don't give you as much as they should. So the fact that you're the one having to reach out to her at all is sad. Like, sweetie, you have to know when something ain't for you, even if it's your mama. I would not be trying to reach out to her or hold on to hope. Like, she brings no value to you. She brings no value to your children at all. If anything, I would keep her as far away from my children as possible, because I don't know what make you think she'll be calling people to say, come get you, before she snap on you. Like, she won't snap on her grandkids. I wouldn't have her ass nowhere near my kids personally.
Right.
So don't let her ruin you permanently. Don't let her get you to that place where you feel as though you cannot live on and go on with your life without her acceptance. You will never get acceptance from a narcissist. You will never be enough for a narcissist. You will never get an apology, acknowledgement. It will never happen. So you got to let that go, sis. You lying to yourself about what's really going on. Okay. But I want you to heal and create distance, sis. Distance is your friend.
Well, thank you so much, sis. It was actually my mom's birthday today, and I was debating on actually telling her happy birthday, but we did. And
Does
I
she
was
call your kids and say happy birthday?
She don't. You're absolutely right. No.
You see how narcissistic people get you sucked into one-sided relationships?
Right.
And have you fighting for them giving you nothing? When you look at a narcissistic person in your mind, I want you to really think, like really take a moment to say, what does this person really contribute to my life? If this person was not in my life, what would really change? Exactly. And most people cannot ever come up with an answer. When you really think about it, this person got me thinking that they're just, I just need them and that I need their acceptance. When you really think about it, you're like, fuck that bitch. That bitch ain't really doing shit for me for real, but you making things worse for me. You stressing me out. You
I
know,
guess.
so what you're experiencing is a one-sided relationship. She
Yes.
don't call her grandkids, but y'all calling her. And you're teaching your children to settle for less as well.
No,
You
no.
need to teach your kids, and I'm gonna say this in the way I speak, but you need to teach your kids like, fuck her. She don't call you. She don't say happy birthday to y'all. She don't send y'all no. Don't start training your kids to be like you because of the trauma you suffered
Right.
from her. And you start to train them that someone does not have to reciprocate with them. Oh, that's your grandma. Y'all come say happy birthday. No, she didn't call them. Don't make them call her ass. So
Right.
be
Right.
careful. I know that you treat your children well. And in your mind, if I just love my kids and treat them well, I'm breaking the curse. No, you are subconsciously making them be just like you by making them settle for the breadcrumbs of nothingness that your mom gives. So don't make them call her.
Whew.
Don't make them give to no one who ain't giving to them. I know you mean well, but that ain't
Yeah.
it, sis, okay?
Yeah, I hear you. Loud and clear.
Oh, yeah. All right, sis. Well, you have a good evening, okay?
All right. Thank you, Six.
Thank you. Peace. Yeah, you know, we as a Black community, we got to stop falling for that. Well, that's still your mama. Fuck that bitch. Well, that's still your daddy. Fuck that nigga. The fuck? Absolutely not. I'm going to tell y'all right now, when you have a parent that truly loves you, want the best for you, even if the history was not the best, even if the history things didn't go so well in the past, trust and believe. They're going to come to you, apologize, acknowledge what they did. Y'all got to watch the video I did with my daddy. I told y'all, me and my daddy didn't get close. So I'm about 24, 25 years old. All right. And my daddy had to come to me and apologize, acknowledge what he did, not defer the blame on someone else. He had to acknowledge and consistent change behavior to show I want to do better. I want to be better and be an excellent grandfather. Okay, we can allow that. But y'all got to stop letting people, you sitting here trying to fit them in your life, they won't even acknowledge what they did. Do you know how disgusting it is? Do you know the low-level human being that you have to be to hurt someone so greatly in such an immense way and refuse to, at the very least, say, I'm sorry? Let's go ahead and separate any other instances that happened. In this specific instance here, this was very hurtful. This was a major betrayal. And every time someone majorly hurts you and betrays you in that way and refuses to at least acknowledge it and apologize, there is no, and every day that go by is a more and more of a fuck you, you ain't nobody. Every day that someone can let the pain of what they've done to you grow and fester in yourself, and they don't want to apologize, they don't want to see you heal, they don't want to see you do better. That is the most disgusting thing a person can do to another person. Okay? And this is why it is up to you. Y'all call it what you want to call it. This is why it is up to each human being to protect themselves, not just physically. We all think protection. We think we talk about walking around with a gun, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. This is why it's your job to say no and set the boundary, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and hop off of here. I don't know what is going on with my Wi-Fi. I'm going to go choke my kid, okay? Because he over here talking about he ain't do something. He definitely did something, okay? So y'all don't mind me. I'm going to go choke my kid, okay? Great. And like the video. Thank you to all the super chats, all the cash apps. I so greatly appreciate everyone's contributions to the stream. We will probably go live again. I have a trip coming up, so I'm thinking Monday, maybe even this weekend. Might be this weekend, okay? But we're definitely trying to stick to at least 2 live streams a week and 1 upload a week. So maybe tomorrow I'll do an upload. Yeah, please subscribe to the channel. I think that this stream was amazing. I feel the healing. I feel like I feel like a pastor right now. I feel like there's at least 5 souls that got their life and caught a healing on this live stream, I declare. Okay. I declare that there is a few souls that heard this stream that now understand that they're the chosen one. They're on their way to start breaking generational curses and dysfunction. I just feel it. I feel like this live stream healed a few people. And I love that. I am so glad that we were able to have this discussion. A Hyundai coming in, a Honda Shango for Toyota. Yes, I feel it, honey. It's all in the spirit, honey. All right. You enjoyed the content. Again, I appreciate any support of the channel. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.